Redactor Esmond. Very punctual, good. Don't take a seat, this will be quick. My sentinels tell me you have some interesting ideas.
Just goes to show, all the power in the world still can't protect you from a knife in the back.
Can be useful in the right hands. Especially now that our partnership with the Order has become fraught. We may need our own version of their pacifying doctrine.
Oh, so I do have a germ of an idea. A less grand version of the grand plan. Instead of atoms and particles and such, it's made up of us. All doing our part, like cogs in a machine.
Interesting. A system where every subject believes they have a role to play. Enthusiastic obedience. Why, the Sovereign and I were thinking of this very thing. What should we call it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's still just a germ of a concept, of a hint of an idea, you see. It's a whole new way of thinking. A new model of society. Quite the paradigm shift.
Paradigm. Very good, Esmond. Say, you look frazzled, troubled by your own thoughts. Why don't you report to mental refreshment? My staff will personally see to your well-being.
The distinguished presiding bishop herself has deigned to join us. What a charming surprise.
Don't overlook the main attraction, dear. I even wore my finest battle attire.
I might have known you'd conspire with our enemy and lead some foolhardy crusade against me. Loyalty has eluded you for years, after all. Sentinels, if you would.
Forming an alliance was necessary to combat the irrationality of your foolish endeavor. Those who fail to show reason do not deserve to lead this colony. Now, stand down.
I will not. I am saving this colony from itself and ridding it entirely of traitors and trespassers like you. Do not place his decision at my feet. I know it's difficult for the likes of you to fathom the concept of self-sacrifice, but he chose mental refreshment for the good of us all. And what am I to do but carry on his legacy? What am I to do but achieve what he could not? I'll only be killing a select number permanently. The worthy, however, will be resurrected and reformed so they may reach their full potential. Open your mind, Commander. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Indeed. Rarely are there enough measures to keep the most tenacious of sprats from gnawing their way in. I've been following your progress closely, you know, since you so unceremoniously tampered with our Vox relay on Paradise Island. When you began your dealings with the Order and the Corporatists, I thought that perhaps having a chaotic element in their midst could work in our favor. But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the Protectorate yet again. You think yourself clever, don't you? The Sovereign is indisposed, leaving myself as the sole custodian of Arcadia. What's his is mine. And the victory I inevitably clench over you, over anyone, will be his in turn, even if he's not here to bask in it. For all your bluster, you seem more concerned with running your mouth than improving your performance in the field. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
Greater Tranquility Station was a test?
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the Matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our Matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse, which eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future. One free of doubt and greed. I've found when most people haven't a leg to stand on, they fall back into performative insouciance in an attempt to redirect the conversation. Always brazen, rarely effective. Listen closely. This is the work of the Grand Plan, guiding us toward humanity's ascension. Everything exists for this purpose. Since you took your time scurrying about my ship, presumably rifling through our things, I assume you also found information about the far-off rifts in untraversed space. That alone should tell you that we don't make our own circumstances. It seems they were made by the ship our Matriarch found. A curiosity, isn't it? Without this discovery, we may never have realized the power we now possess with the rifts. Yes, the Great Architect works in mysterious ways. What else can I do but what is bidden?
Is this what you think the Order does? Force its will upon the plan? You pitiable fool. The Grand Plan is not some pliant organism that can be led by a firm hand.
And yet, what is meant to be, will be. It matters not what path you tread, if the destination has been preordained. Now, as fascinating as your pseudo-intellectual musings have been to witness, I've reached my limit.
Beware, Commander. The Consul is a master manipulator. Trying to speak with him may be more dangerous than simply slaying him on the spot.
You're entirely out of your jurisdiction. And were I within reach, I would strike down this apostate dog myself. If you wish for me to entertain your argument, you will silence him.
Consul Emery Thoreau, I accuse you of perfidy of the highest degree, traitorism against the Sovereign and his Protectorate. I find you guilty on all counts. Prepare for absolution.
You overeager fools. This is the last mistake you'll ever make.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Navigator ahead.
You must keep your blood within, Commander!
Ready to waste. Your command.
You have my thanks and my hammer.
Don't overlook.
I might have known.
Forming an...
I will not. I am saving this colony from itself and ridding it entirely of traitor. And what am I to do but carry on his legacy? What am I to do but achieve what he could not? I'll only be... Yeah, you are a relic of an impotent institution. Indeed. I've been... But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the... You think what's his is mine. And the victory I had... For all your... Tell me.
Greater tranquility.
It was I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before. Very well. Horizon, when the matriarch discovered the first skip drive. But it is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you... Listen, since you... That alone... Without this discovery, we may never have realized...
Is this what you...
And yet, now... As fascinating as your pseudo-intelligence...
Beware, Commander. The Consul is a master manipulator.
You're entirely out of your jurisdiction. And were I within reach, I would strike down this apostate dog myself. If you wish for me to entertain your argument, you will silence him.
If you've a plan, I trust you to see it through. But I shall keep a hand on my hammer throughout.
It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on. Tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner seeing it carried out. Yes, well, we also lost the support of the Order. But can one truly call that a loss? We would have drowned already in the seas of war with the weight of their inaction around our necks.
Reality would dispute that fact, given that it is I who has invaded your sanctum, and not the other way around. The Order has always been the Protectorate's more capable half.
I can scarcely recognize the Bishop standing in front of me. To think that I welcomed your ascension all those years ago. Orlo was at least amenable, moldable, teachable. But you've been nothing but disappointment. You're so busy chasing figments of the future, you don't even know they're leading you off the side of a cliff. My subjects do not despise me. Those that do are not true Protectorate. The same can be said for any subject who wavers. They are dead weight, and we must cast them off straight away. Once I win the war and leave those naysayers behind, harsh action will be swiftly forgotten. And once I provide for the needs of my subjects, I will have them forever.
Commander's right. Protectorate's been burning its own for too long to stay warm. This war just made the flames more noticeable.
And our devotion must be tested by fire, as it is said, else it is not true. You are clearly ill-equipped to speak on Arcadian affairs, or of what truly matters to its subjects. I alone can give them what they need. You must see that. Indeed. That's why my strongest supporters wholeheartedly believe in me, and the Protectorate cause. So which is it? Can my people see reason, as you so aptly put it? Or are they mindless drones needing desperately to be saved by you? It cannot be both. For every traitor in our midst, thousands of loyalists remain. If anyone attempts to move against me, they are merely announcing themselves as the chaff to be cut. And they promptly will be. What are you saying? No. This is a preposterous assertion. You don't know what you're speaking of.
I'm the agent who was sent to Horizon Point to sabotage the Protectorate's experiments. Some in the Order believe the experiments would lead to catastrophe if left unchecked. Indeed, if I hadn't destroyed the station, your ilk would have destroyed the entire fabric of reality. And I've suffered with that truth for 10 years.
The operation she speaks of was indeed conducted by members of the Order. But these were rogue elements. They defied my own determinations. They were not catalyzed by them.
Then the Order's treachery runs even deeper than we thought. There will be swift recompense for this humiliation. Of that you can be certain. I remind you that I am still waiting to hear any compelling evidence against my plans. That is the entire reason for this exhausting exchange of ideas, is it not?
Madness is rarely apparent to one in its throes. I wonder, would you even be capable of hearing facts if we offered them?
I am the chosen shepherd of Arcadia and will not be spoken to like this. I am only doing what I must to restore this colony to what our matriarch envisioned. Free of war, strife, heresy. You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will not be distracted from taking what is owed to us. I will not be lectured by an outsider. It's just like the Earth Directorate, or any other interloper, to claim to better know the customs of those they invade. Certainly if you had your way, you would claim Arcadia as yours, and rewrite history to suit your own aims.
It's true. Your matriarch suspected the Protectorate was doomed from the get-go. Reuben was mucking things up even before his mother's body was cold.
No. No, Reuben would not have gone against her. He was the stalwart protector of Arcadia to the end. We could all see his devotion. If he even attempted to bastardize the Protectorate cause, then we will have undone all of the Matriarch's work. I swore to guide the Matriarch's line. It was not a matter of choosing sides. It was duty. But surely it cannot be possible that I've gotten this wrong. All your so-called arguments are pure hearsay.
You allow your resolve to be shaken when millions lie dead? If I had not traveled with the commander, I would attempt to slay you on the spot. Instead, I shall appeal to any lingering remnant of your honor to do what is right.
Do not speak to me as though I must be punished. And you claimed so boldly that this plan of mine would fail. So, where is it? Where is your proof? Bah, a report. The abstract means little when compared to reality. Look outside. Is it failing now? That's not true. Despite how things appear at present, with time, this station, all of Arcadia, and all of its people will be made whole. Yes, well, I find that man's attitude can skew results even more than a thumb on the scale. But if he's correct, as he quite typically is, I don't understand. Surely every step leading to this moment was in accordance to the grand plan. All the pieces fit. Either someone has made a terrible mistake, or this is merely a conspiracy to mislead us. And leave the traitors and invaders alive? No! Death is the only way forward. We can only be made pure from the ashes, despite whatever supposed proof you have to the contrary. Claim? If you cannot see the truth of my devotion written plain, then now I see why you are against me so. But you are wrong about the risk. We are losing this war. It is inevitable. The victors will brutally subdue us until we become corrupted. Until we forget our principles, our history, the very core of who we are. It is better that we perish together as proud Protectorate. Proud Arcadians. Preserving our purity is a mercy. More than that, is it not love? As are you.
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander.
If the readouts are to be believed, the rift is on the verge of destabilizing completely. But the rift modulator cannot be operated from this distance. It must be flown into the rift.
Would that slaying the consul had rectified everything? I knew I had hoped too much.
Though it may be troubling to you, this conclusion holds no uncertainty. Someone present must do this. Sometimes there is no alternative. This is one such time. Steel yourself.
The Order and I will use the schematics and the processed rift data to mass-produce modulators that are usable at a distance. These pesky rifts will soon no longer plague the colonies. If you're looking for a sap to fly that rickety rig, don't look at me. I intend to abscond back to my ship with those wonderful little schematics. I have plans for those plans. Good try. You do recognize I run a cutthroat meritocracy, yes? I'm a philosophical leader in the field of mercenary self-interest. You'll need to find someone else, I'm afraid. Now, hand over those schematics and make it snappy.
The woe-bedamned circumstances that led us to this point. Is there not some other way we might solve our current predicament?
I don't see why it has to be you, dear. I mean, I would, but I've spent much too much on prolonging my existence to cash out now. That is to say, thank you.
I will work with Auntie personally to protect the Rift technology and ensure your sacrifice is remembered for the selfless action it is.
So much for any pretext of honor. It would appear the responsibility of saving Arcadia falls to us.
No need to belabor this. I will fly the ship. I don't take the mercy you showed back on Greater Tranquility lightly. But it's only right that I finally see my mission through.
If this is not some jest, then I misjudged you, DeVries. Being willing to make up for past misdeeds takes true iron.
Magnanimous. But it's not for my legacy that I'm doing this. Now go.
So, in the end, Augustine DeVries chose to die to atone for her actions. And yet, even that hope faded in her final moments, as she realized nothing would make up for what she had done. But at least she'd not have to live with her guilt any longer. Thanks to the commander's quick thinking in sparing it from the Vox station's fiery crash, Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a profitable company town for Auntie's choice. Acquisitions Officer Carr enjoyed the perks and power that came with promotion for her asset-winning techniques on Paradise Island. Her rival, D.B. Milverstreet, meanwhile, seethed as he pushed cold morsels of Borstloaf around the plate of his microwave dinner. Vigilant Hogarth was declared a traitor to the Protectorate, along with most other Westport townsfolk. They were judged according to the paradigm, then sentenced to be executed until dead, forever tied to the city they could not protect. Auntie's choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Inez's convincing appeals to the press earned her clout in reforming Auntie's Choice's cruel grafting program. Yet it was a constant struggle, rife with red tape and pushback from program executives. This was Inez's new battle, one she would fight for the rest of her life. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. After thoughtful cogitation and calculation, Marisol slowly began to reject violence as the sole method for eliminating random variables. Not coincidentally, her social calendar began filling up. After Azza disbanded the Glorious Dawn, its members quietly tried to resume lives forever disrupted by the Arcadian conflict. As the cult's murderous legacy faded, average colonist life expectancy increased by 0.23%. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. Auntie Cleo went through the motions of accommodating the Order, yet privately aspired to keep free trade anything but free. She began a new initiative. Any corporation or government that refused her trade conditions was promptly dealt with, either via takeover or strategic use of rifts. Auntie made her first public appearance in years, inspiring a fashion trend in bubble helmets. In no time at all, she won more public support than Ruth, which she sought to use as leverage when the time was right. Ruth Bassar proceeded to interface with the Archive, an agonizing process that clawed away her lifespan. The Archive computed that she was mistaken to compromise with the corporatists. To advance the plan, she needed to destroy them from within. So she proceeded to do just that. She had only been using the corporation for its logistical infrastructure. Auntie herself and at least some of her top executives needed to cease existing in Arcadia, either via assassination or skip-drive-assisted exile. Bassar stripped the power from the corporatists in subtle ways, until it was too late for them to stop her. Yet it remained unclear how long the Order could sustain its dominance once Ruth Bassar passed on to become one with the Equation. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, the Order and Auntie's Choice bickered over what to do with him. They ultimately decided to announce his death, while letting him live the rest of his addled days behind closed doors aboard the undisputed Claim. Until one day, Amos stumbled upon the Sovereign's private quarters and freed him, rocking the colony with a brief scandal. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the Commander's actions. The rifts across Arcadia and beyond were soon closed. Trade quickly resumed, with Auntie's Choice handling logistics. Yet, more than just goods and resources traveled the re-established trade routes. The Order's version of scientism spread as well. Many colonies stabilized, many thrived, and some even rose to an Arcadian level of prosperity. But there are still some that have never been heard from. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.
you're concerned about carrying around an untested volatile experimental science weapon that draws energy from the aether, wait till you find out what's in a crab witch.